How is it going, everyone? It's Cable Lumity here, and man, we are ending Halloween month off really well, I must say. I love this game. This game was fantastic. Today we're going to be talking about the Haunted Mansion on the GameCube, and this game, I didn't expect it to be this good, honestly, but this was a lot of fun. This was a fantastic video game, and if you have rode the Haunted Mansion ride, you'll probably love this game because it actually is based off of the ride itself. It's not based off of the movies or anything else. It is based off the actual ride. So it has a lot of cool references to the ride itself. And I was a huge fan of that ride when I went on it and when I went to Disney World. I absolutely loved the Haunted Mansion. So this game is right up my alley. I already love the aesthetic of it. It's perfect for Halloween. And the actual mansion itself, how many different rooms you get to explore so much of the mansion. It's just really, really cool. And the gameplay loop and even the story is really fun. In this game, you are the character Zeke, and you are working with Madame Leota to stop Atticus Thorne. Atticus Thorne has basically corrupted the entire Haunted Mansion. He's taken all of the good souls and turned them into vengeful spirits. And your goal as Zeke is to go around and try to collect the souls and turn them back to their original friendly ghost form. And the way that you do this is you are running around the Haunted Mansion with this lantern, and this lantern you can use to absorb these ghosts, and when you do that and you absorb enough ghosts, it will unlock more areas of the mansion itself, so you can explore more and more and more of the mansion. And while you are exploring this house, there are enemies that you will come across, whether it be gigantic spiders, or it is like Grim Reapers. The Grim Reaper things are pretty freaky, actually. There's one scene where there's one chasing you through a hallway, a really thin and narrow hallway, and it's really cool, actually. There's banshees, there's haunted armor, there's gargoyles, and the gargoyles can send little monkey skeletons after you. I don't really know what they are, but they're freaky looking, so you can blast those as well. Yeah, your lamp, you can actually use your lamp to combat all of these enemies. And you have a few different types of fire powers that you can use with your lamp. You have a regular one that's just kind of a light blast that doesn't work on every single enemy. Like, it works on the smaller enemies, but it doesn't work on the bigger enemies like gargoyles, for example, or even the armored, like the ghost armor and stuff like that. It doesn't work on them, but it does work on smaller enemies. Then you have a charge ability, and that's the one that will work on gargoyles, and will also work on the ghost armor. You also have an ability that will launch a fireball, and the fireball will explode, and it's like an AoE attack. So it will hurt a bunch of enemies all in its vicinity, and that's actually a really cool ability. And you can actually upgrade your lantern as you play the game further and further, and you can make it so those abilities are even better. It will get to the point where your regular ability, instead of just shooting one little ball of light out, it will shoot 3 out at a time, and it does a lot more damage. It will make your secondary ability just have a way better charge attack and do a lot more damage. And your third ability will look like red lightning coming down from the sky and will shock multiple enemies within its range. So I love the combat in this game, love the different enemies. There's a ton of different enemies. There is no lack of variety in this game. They gave you a lot of different enemies to face, and it feels like they're constantly throwing something new at you, which is really cool, and they knew how to keep the game fresh. And each room in the Haunted Mansion feels completely different from each other. And I love the way that the rooms work, because the way that the rooms work is to be able to even hunt ghosts and find ghosts to turn them into, good spirits in the first place. You have to turn on the light switch when you first go into a room. And there's always a puzzle in each room that is completely different from one another, by the way. And you have to try and find how to turn on the light switch. You have to find out how to solve the puzzle in each room to turn on the light switch. And this is one of the few games that I've ever played, one of the few horror games especially that I've ever played, where the puzzles are actually phenomenal. I loved all of the puzzles in this game. There's not a single puzzle that I actually hated. I thought this game did really, really well in terms of its puzzle designs, and I honestly think every other horror game out there should take notes from this game on how to do it. They did it right, they did it perfectly, and especially for a cartoony horror game where there's things like platforming and stuff like that, it's perfect. I absolutely loved all of the puzzles. One of my favorite puzzles was the pool table puzzle. It shrinks you down and you're small and you're running around on a pool table and you have to get the pool cue to knock all of the pool balls into the holes, and then once that happens it will spawn the light switch for you to turn on. So that was one of my favorite puzzles. There's one where you actually have to step on rugs, and the rugs will actually start moving the room around, and like the shelves on the walls and stuff will start moving, and they'll make it so you can jump on top of them, and you have to find out which rug combination is the correct combination to be able to get to the light switch, so all of the stuff that's moving will line up in the perfect direction. There's one where you have to light a fire, and you have to light the fire by having this poltergeist basically throw plates at you, and you have to stand in front of these wine bottles and make a line of basically the liquor all the way to the fireplace. That way you can start a fire and light the room up. So there's a lot of cool stuff in this game. I really love all the puzzles in it. Another one of my favorite puzzles was really early on in the game, and you have to like play the musical instruments, and whenever you play a musical instrument, it'll start moving books in the library, and you can jump onto the books, and you just move along with the books, and you try to stay on them and not fall off. And you can keep playing different instruments in the library, and whenever you do that, just more platforms will pop up for you to jump onto, and they'll be moving and stuff, and it's just a really fun 3D platforming challenge, and I really enjoyed that. The only challenges, the only puzzles that I would say are really difficult, there's a few of them. There's one where you have to use these spider webs to pull you against the wind, like the wind is blowing you back, and these spider webs are pulling you through it, and you have to keep getting grabbed by spiders in order to get up to where you need to go. And it's pretty difficult because you have to kill the spiders at the right time and in the right order in order for the spiders to actually pull you up where you need to go. Because multiple spiders are hitting you at the same time and pulling you in different directions. So you have to be, kind of quick, and you have to be smart about how you are taking out the spiders. So I like that puzzle, but it is a little bit difficult. There's a puzzle towards the end that I had some trouble with, but I did get it eventually. And it is a puzzle where you have to turn all of these evil portraits into good portraits. And the way that you do that is you walk by them with your lantern, and the light from your lantern will basically purify the portraits. But it is hard to get all of the portraits. There's a lot of portraits in this room. It's a big, big room. And it is hard to get all of the portraits lit up and to turn them all good. And the last puzzle that I struggled with was probably the chess puzzle. I really struggled with the chess puzzle. I liked it. I didn't have a problem with it. I still actually like all the puzzles in this game, but that one was a bit more difficult. So it took me a few attempts, especially on like the last two chess challenges, because these knights can turn, and if the knight is facing you and you're on the chessboard, the knight just charges you and knocks you out, and you have to restart the board. And that one can get pretty tough, especially because of the way that the knights move and everything. You have to watch the pattern of the way they move and make sure when you're moving, they don't turn and look at you. And they're looking at you from all angles, so you have to be pretty smart about it, and you have to be quick about it too. So I really like that puzzle, though. But there's a good mix of easy puzzles mixed with challenging puzzles, but they don't like throw you into the deep end. The challenging ones really don't start popping up towards late in the game once you really get used to all of the mechanics. And once you get these puzzles solved, you turn on the lights and you start collecting ghosts. You'll collect the ghosts, and you can also collect these pieces of a death certificate. And when you collect enough of them, you can trade those pieces of the death certificate to an actual ghost to get a soul gem. And you need the soul gems to continue the storyline. And when you're doing the soul gems and you're trying to get the soul gems, you usually will come face to face with a boss fight before you get a soul gem, and it will usually be against Atticus Thorn. And each time you see Atticus Thorn, he'll be more and more powerful. And I really enjoyed the boss fights, actually. I thought they were a lot of fun. And I actually enjoyed all of the ghosts and the dialogue that you have with them as well. All the voice acting in this game is phenomenal. Loved all that stuff as well. They did a fantastic job with it. And I also just love how many collectibles are in this game. This game has quite a few collectibles, because not only are you trying to collect the ghosts with your lamp and turn them into good ghosts, you can literally absorb the ghost into your lamps as well. It kind of looks like how it does in Luigi's Mansion whenever he's trying to suck up ghosts into his vacuum cleaner. That's kind of what it reminds me of. But you are collecting ghosts. You're collecting pieces of the death certificate, which is really cool. You're collecting the soul gems, which are really the biggest collectible, and those are kind of more something that you just get for completing chapters of the game, I guess you could call it. And then you have little cards that you can find, and it's Madame Leota's Lost Tarot cards, and you can find those. And if you find 10 of them, it will give you a health boost, so you can keep boosting your health over and over and over again. And it just has a lot of collectibles in it, and it makes you want to explore more and more and more of the mansion. And some of the exploration can get really challenging, especially whenever you get like shrunk down, for example. I actually think the graphics of this game are pretty decent as well. I like the way this game looks. It looks really, really good. It looks cartoony. It looks nice. And honestly, I think the graphics have held up pretty well. And the lighting and everything is actually still pretty decent as well. Didn't have any issues with that. So overall, I really like this game. I didn't even have any performance issues, no frame rate issues or anything. The combat works fine. The lock-on ability works fine. Everything about this game plays wonderfully. And honestly, I'm surprised more people don't talk about this game because it is so much fun. I had so much fun with this game. I enjoyed this game. I think that this is a perfect game for Halloween. the aesthetic of it, the mansion itself, the exploration, the collectibles, the just everything about this game is phenomenal. There's so much good stuff about this game. The puzzles, there's not a single negative that I can really even think of when it comes to this game. I don't have a single negative with this game. It's about 4 hours long, and honestly, I think that's the perfect length for this game because it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's the perfect game to put in and just enjoy for an afternoon, and it's great for the Halloween season. I highly recommend that you check out the Haunted Mansion. You can usually find it for around $20, and if you find it for $20, I think it's worth it. This is a phenomenal game, and in my opinion, this is a must-have if you love the actual ride, or if you're just a Disney game fan in general. I don't know why this game doesn't get talked about more, but it definitely should. This is a phenomenal game that has a wonderful mix of not only combat and puzzles, but platforming as well, and collectathon style gameplay. It just has so much going for it, and you can tell that there was a lot of effort put into this game, and I really appreciate this game. I appreciate that this game exists. I'm happy this game exists, and I'm glad that I was able to review it for you guys. Definitely go check out the Haunted Mansion. It is phenomenal. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.